From Chris Jericho's WCW days to his WWE days, his AEW signing story, and all the crazy stuff revolved around Chris Jericho's 30-year career. This is my full breakdown of Chris Jericho's interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Broken Skull Sessions coming up. Now the first question that needs to be answered here is, how did this interview came into fruition? Austin and Jericho were having a chat. Jericho complimented Austin with a great interview with The Undertaker. He watched The Undertaker's interview. I mean, that was a great interview, to be honest. Austin just asks Jericho whether he wants to be in the Broken Skull session. Jericho obviously said yes, but what about Vince McMahon? Because you need permission of Vince McMahon. Austin texted Vince McMahon as well. Vince McMahon gave the go ahead. Jericho asked Tony Khan about whether he should go to WWE and shoot this interview. Tony Khan also gave the go ahead, and now I am breaking down the entire interview for you guys. Jericho needed three things for a new company to stand out. 1. Finances and passion. Tony Khan had the finances. Tony Khan has a passion for wrestling. The second thing is the TV deal. They got the TNT deal, which in itself is a big thing. They were actually going to broadcast AEW into something like a Netflix or HBO, but they got the TNT deal and they are up and running with that. And the third thing is the talent. You need 4 to 6 guys to build a company around. Cody Rhodes was known to an extent because he was with the WWE, but the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, nobody knew of these people. Only these hardcore indie fans knew them, and through BTE being the elite. So they had the 6 top guys to build a company around, and AEW was up and running. Now, most of them who have been with WCW, they have regretted their time in WCW, like Bret Hart, but Chris Jericho doesn't regret it. Why? Chris Jericho actually learned an important lesson in WCW. When you got a minute or 10 minutes of TV time, that's your time. You have to stand out in that given time. Now, this is a very important lesson to all the wrestlers, to be honest, because if you are getting TV time, that's because the man who is producing the show is putting the trust on you, and you have to shine at that time. If you don't shine, you're not gonna get the opportunity after that. And in WCW, Chris Jericho wasn't getting more opportunities, but whenever he was just killing it. Now, Chris Jericho wanted him versus Goldberg to be one of the greatest squash matches of all time. I mean, he was so much into the match that when Goldberg spears him, he would fling his shoes like 15 rows to the crowd. Such was his idea. But Jericho reveals that he didn't have nothing to do with WCW after that, since he created angles out of nothing, and hence he left WCW. He let his contract expire and he left WCW, and he always wanted to work with Vince McMahon. So there were 2 reasons why he left WCW. One, the Goldberg fiasco, and he wanted to work with Vince McMahon. Now, Chris Jericho just proves here why he is a legend. The idea of the Millennium Countdown, he got it from a post office clock. He presented it to Vince Russo. Vince Russo got that to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon agreed, and Vince McMahon was he was a genius at that time. He made Chris Jericho to debut and interrupt The Rock's promo. I mean, The Rock was in 1999. The Rock was like one of the biggest wrestlers, and he made Chris Jericho to interrupt The Rock's promo. I mean, it was insane, and that debut in itself was one of the greatest debuts of all time. Let's fast forward to 2005. 2005, Chris Jericho's contract expired. Now, at this time, Chris Jericho felt that he was not contributing at the highest level, hence he left. There was no motivation to wrestling at all. He was done with wrestling and he burned out. He simply burned out. He took acting lessons and he came back in 2007. Now the motivation to come back in 2007 was John Cena versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania the earlier year. He thought that he could do it. He still had it and he was basically jealous that these two were working such a great match. So he decided to come back in 2007, and I mean 2007, 2008, that was the best Chris Jericho we have ever witnessed. And now we are going to go a little sour now, because we're going to just break down what happened during that WrestleMania 33 main event to second match spot. So basically the plan here was Kevin Owens will hold on to the title till WrestleMania. He will turn heel on Chris Jericho at the Festival of Friendship and he holds on to that title. Chris Jericho basically main events with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania and he wins the title for the first time as face. Then Brock Lesnar returns and he defeats Chris Jericho in a month, and Chris Jericho would go on to the Fozzy tour. Now this was the plan. Now what actually happened? Kevin Owens dropped the title to Goldberg at Fastlane. Brock vs Goldberg was the main event at WrestleMania 33. But here's the thing. Kevin Owens vs Chris Jericho, from being proposed to the main event to match number 2, which is unacceptable for Chris Jericho, and it is still unacceptable for him. It just left a bad taste in his mouth, and Chris Jericho after that said, hey, I'm done with WWE, I'm just gonna go. He went on to the Fozzy tour, but after that he went into New Japan, became the Painmaker, became the Intercontinental Champion. He wrestled Kenny Omega, and I mean it was one of the best decisions of Chris Jericho's life, because he knew that he wasn't going to contribute in a big way in WWE. He was again going to come back with his list gimmick whenever he would come back, and he did come back at Raw 25. So kudos to Chris Jericho. I mean, he really took a big call and he went ahead. I mean, wrestling actually became fun for Chris Jericho again when he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, when he wrestled Kenny Omega at the Tokyo Dome. Now let's fast forward it to 2020. Chris Jericho, I mean, he wrestled with no crowds. He was just so annoyed with the fact that he is wrestling with no crowds. He was very frustrated. I mean, the others were telling that what about the youngsters and all, but if you think about the veterans who have wrestled for like over 20 plus years, like Chris Jericho in this case, they have wrestled in front of crowds their whole life. So he's happy for Stone Cold that he didn't have to work in a pandemic in front of no people. So a 2-hour interview, I have tried to make it as short as possible, covered the main stories. Of course, I can't cover all the stories here, but still, I hope you like this video. If you like it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.